Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared for here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the 2K12 Cub, also known as the SA-6 Gainful. The 2K12 Cub, known by the naval reporting name as the SA-6 Gainful Mobile Surface-to-Air Missile System, is a Soviet low to medium level air defense system designed to protect ground forces from air attack. The 2K12 is the GRAU designation of the system. Each 2K12 battery consists of a number of similar tracked vehicles, one of which carries the 1S91 Stern vehicle known by the NATO designation as Straight Flush, 25 kilowatt G/H band radar, equipped with a continuous wave illuminator, in addition to an optical sight. The battery usually also includes 4 triple missile transporter erector launchers, or TELs, and 4 trucks, each carrying 3 spare missiles and a crane. The TEL is based off the GM578 chassis, while the 1S91 radar vehicle is based off the GM568 chassis, all developed and produced by MMZ. The vehicle we have in front of us here is the 2K12 Cub in its kind of I guess you can say transport type position. So this is kind of the mobile or non-deployed version of the vehicle. We will be doing a tutorial also for the deployed version. So if you are interested in that, then definitely feel free to take a look at that tutorial, which will hopefully be coming out in the coming days after this one. But as I mentioned, this is going to be for the transit version. So this will be with the missiles kind of folded back and not really in a deployed type position. Before we go and take a look at this build, I do want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon support Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more than you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a video request of your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's really appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out, and all that. With that though, let's go ahead and dive into taking a look here at the SA-6 Gainful or 2K12 Cub. So again, to start with, we have the vehicle itself. Pretty simple vehicle in design, not anything too crazy. Just kind of an armored personnel carrier, very similar to that of the SA-4 that we did a little while ago. So yeah, lots of nice detail on the vehicle and all that stuff. Nothing really too crazy about it. But then on top here we do have the missiles. So you have this missile system that basically is able to rotate. It's able to incline the missiles and able to launch the missiles all from this platform. And it does carry 3 missiles in a full load. So that's pretty much what we have going on there. And really that's about it. It's pretty straightforward as it gets. It's just a surface-to-air missile system, and this is just kind of the transit version of it. As you can see right next to it, we do have the deployed version. So we do have the missiles kind of angled, which is probably one that you guys are going to really want to look at, because it definitely looks a lot cooler than that of the transit version. But we also do have the radar system as well, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Basically the radar system being built upon the same chassis. Anyways though, without further ado though, let's go ahead and move into our tutorial here by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer, we will be going ahead and start with layer 1. If you are watching the video for the deployed version and also the radar system, just know that we will be using kind of the same first layers here that we did for the transit version. I'm just going to go ahead and recycle the footage since we're basically building the same basis of the vehicle. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of what we're doing here, and all that. So if you see this vehicle here in the background, that's the reason why. But after we get past layer 4 or so, then you'll see the vehicle we're actually going to be building. So just keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and get started with this this build here. The first thing we want to do is we want to place down a nether brick slab like this, and an nether brick top slab coming off of it. We're going to go ahead and place down a black shulker box on its side, followed by a dark oak trapdoor, another black shulker box, another dark oak trapdoor, another black shulker box on its side, a polished black stone stair, a second stair, and then another shulker box on its side, and then another set of 2 polished black stone stairs back to back. So you should have an alternating pattern that kind of looks like this for your road wheels. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a nether brick upside down stair on the end here of this polished black stone stair. With that done, we're going to go ahead and then take our dark oak top slabs. We're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across from that stair there. And we're also going to go and do 5 across from that nether brick slab there. So like so. We then want to go ahead and take our top slabs and we're just going to go ahead and fill in the space here on the bottom. So just like this, to go ahead and create the basis here of the vehicle. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down our polished black stone stairs here, our shulker boxes, and again, we're just going to go ahead and repeat the same pattern that we did on the other side over here to this side. Just like that. And over here, we're going to do the same thing. Air brick upside down stair, and then a dark oak trapdoor to both sides like that. After we have that all done there, basically we're going to go ahead and then place down some item frames on the side here of these shulker boxes. If they will actually load, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and then place down green stained glass panes in those item frames. Now, if you're on Java, we can also go ahead and place down dark oak wood buttons in the same block space as an item frame. This is a feature that's not going to be available for every version of Java, so if you are on a different version and you are not able to place down a button and item frame, just go ahead and place down the item frame with the green stained glass pane. So it'll look like that there, but for Java, we'll go ahead and do a little bit extra by placing down the dark oak wood buttons here. So just like that, we have our road wheels set up. In addition, we do have this banner design that we're going to be placing down on these polished black stone stairs. Now, this banner is really simple. I'm not going to go ahead and go in great detail in it, like building it in a loom. However, I will talk about it briefly. And basically all you're doing here is you're going to go and take a black banner. You're going to go and do a green stripe on the right side, splitting the banner in half, and a green stripe on the left side. Again, splitting that banner exactly in half. After you have those two banners, you're going to go ahead and then do a black horizontal line for the center of both. And you have those banners complete. Again, real simple stuff. And they'll go on the side of these polished black stone stairs with the green facing toward each other. And this will be done here for each one of our polished black stone stair segments. So it's going to look like that there. After that's all done though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 1. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here, mossy cobblestone wall to both sides, and then another green terracotta block here coming off the sides. We're going to go then also place down a green shulker box on both ends, as well as tripwire hooks on the sides here of these blocks. We then also want to place down an item frame here on the side, a cobweb, and a dark oak wood button like so, and same thing over here, item frame, cobweb, and a dark oak wood button. We're going to go then place down a dark oak wood trapdoor, coming off the faces here, or the sides I should say, of the green shulker boxes. And we then want to go ahead and go back from those shulker boxes with some narrow brick top slabs. We'll then take our piston. We're going to place down a piston here to both sides. Now, if you're not on Java, so if you're on Pocket Edition or Bedrock, instead of the piston, I would recommend placing down a narrow brick stair that would sit like this. So you have this bottom of the stair here, and then the back side like this. So it'd sit kind of like this at an L angle as an alternative. Then on the sides of the piston, we are going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign. Then continuing on from the pistons, we're going to go ahead and take our narrow brick slabs. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 narrow brick slabs. And then same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then a piston right here to both sides, followed by a dark oak wood sign on the side of said piston. And also a narrow brick top slab going back from the piston like that. After that is all done, we then want to place down a green shulker box on its side like that to both sides. Mossy cobblestone wall here in these spaces like so. And actually, instead of the green shulker box, we can place down a green terracotta block here so our walls actually connect up. We'll just go ahead and make that quick little correction there. We're going to then place down a polished black stone stair coming off the ends there. And then on the sides of the blocks themselves, we're going to place down an item frame, then a cobweb, and just like that. And then also a dark oak button on the side here of these blocks. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a green terracotta block there in the center. And we then want to go ahead and place down a stripped spruce wood block to both sides, as well as a green terracotta block as well to the sides there. We then want to take our dark oak wood trapdoors, and we're just going to place down a row of 3 going across the middle space like so. After that, we're just going to go ahead and fill in the inside of the vehicle in with green terracotta. So basically just like this, you're going to completely fill the inside in of the vehicle. And this is going to get completely filled in like so. Now, after that is all done there, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have for layer number 2. Again, here's an aerial overview of what it looks like from the top-down view. With that, though, we will be going ahead and moving on into our next layer, layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair on top of these shulker boxes like so. We then want to go ahead and take our green stained glass panes, and we're going to place down a row of row of 5 across the middle here. And then we're going to take our green terracotta, and we're going to place down a row of 7 going across as well. We then want to place down a dark oak wood sign that's going to be on the sides here of these stairs, just like so. And we then want to go ahead and grab our dark oak wood trapdoors, and on the right side and right side only, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor. We're going to take our green terracotta, and we're just going to go ahead and build another row of 7 across. So you have 2 rows, then we have 3, followed by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're going to go and do 11 rows of 7 going all the way across. Now, once you get to this point, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here in the corners, and in the space in between here, we're going to take our loom and we're just going to, our looms, and we're just going to place down a row of 5 across. We'll then place down an item frame here on the sides of those blocks here on the back. We're going to place down red concrete in those item frames, and for Java players, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign over the side of that block as well. Being on Java, again, we can place down some signs in the same block space as item frames. If you're not on Java, then just disregard the signs. And continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a green stained glass pane that's going to be on the sides of these middle two, or to the sides of the middle two, or the middle one looms. So it's going to be like that on both sides there. We then want to take our dark oak wood trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 trapdoors here along the sides, and we're going to then close them. We're going to go ahead and then place down an item frame, then a green green terracotta block, and then a dark oak wood sign over it if you're on Java. We'll then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 trapdoors going forward. And that's going to be on the right side and the right side only. The left side here is going to be a bit different. This is going to be done with a dark oak wood trapdoor here. We're going to go and then skip a space, place down an item frame and a green terracotta block, as well as a dark oak wood sign on the side of that block. We're going to take our dark oak wood trapdoors. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dark oak wood trapdoors going across the side there. And after that is all done, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have there for this layer. Just make sure you do take into account the 2 differences on the 2 sides. And luckily, they're really nothing too crazy to transfer. But yeah, that right there is basically all you want there for that. At this point in time, also for my Java players, we're going to go and type in the command /give @p Minecraft :debug _stick. So this command right here, we'll press enter, we'll get this glowing stick. What we can do is we can go to the pistons here, we can left click them until we get selected extended false pop up on our screen. We'll then right click them and we'll set them extended to true, and it will get rid of that wood portion there, which kind of helps with a little bit of our shaping of our tracks. But anyways, that right there is going to be basically it for this layer. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, layer number 4. Moved into our next layer here, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down a shulker box that's going to go on top of this green terracotta block, an item frame, and a black bed rotated sideways like so. We then also want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign that's going to be on the side there of that as well. We're going to go ahead and then place down a zombie head right here to the right side, and that's going to be followed with a dark oak wood slab, which we'll go ahead and grab real quick. So dark oak wood slab, and then to the very side here, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall, so like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the other side. We're going to place down a dark oak wood slab, a spruce wood slab, and then another dark oak wood slab. We'll then place down item frames coming off those blocks there, and in those item frames, we're going to go and place down some snowballs like so. After we have that done, if you're on Java, we can also go ahead and place down a iron bar that's going to go on top of this stair right here. So again, you can go ahead and place the iron bar. If you're on a different version other than Java, you will not be able to place down the iron bar in item frame, so you may have to get rid of the item frame or just disregard the radio antenna, whichever one you kind of prefer here. Anyways, after that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak wood upside down stair. And then coming off the side of it, we're going to place down a sign, and the same thing will be done over here on this side. Then we want to go ahead and go back from the stair with our dried kelp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dried kelp. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll then take our dark oak wood signs, and we're just going to go ahead and run them on the sides here of the dried kelp blocks all the way down. And same thing will be done over here. So just like that. Then after we get to this point, we're going to take our dark oak wood slabs, and we're just going to go ahead and fill in the space in between the stairs here with a row of 5 of slabs. And then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a lectern. We're going to place down a lectern here on the left side, or the right side of the vehicle technically. And then we want to go ahead and grab ourselves our pistons again, and we're going to place down a row of pistons going across the space here. An alternative to the pistons can also be the end portal frames. Those also work really good, and they have the same height when we go back and use the debug stick. However, the only problem with that is that they kind of add a tan color to it, which I don't think blends as good as the gray. But again, that's kind of a good alternative for you if you don't have access to the debug stick. Anyways, though, after this, we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of green terracotta. We're going to go ahead and then place down a second row of 3 and a third row. To the sides here, we're going to go ahead and take our pistons. We're going to go ahead and build 3 back along the sides here. Then a row of 5. Then a second row of 5. And then taking our green terracotta, we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green terracotta across. Then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. This will be followed up with a dark liquid trapdoor on the right side there. And over here on the left side, it's going to be a trapdoor on the side of this block, and also this sign here, we're going to go and delete that and actually replace that with a trapdoor as well. Then right here on this block, we're going to go ahead and grab an item frame, and we're going to do the same thing from the previous layer, an item frame, green terracotta block, and dark liquid sign like that. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down another row of 7 of green terracotta across, followed up with our dark liquid sign on both ends, or rather, sorry, just on the right side. And then we're going to go ahead and place down another row of 7 going all the way across. Again, a dark liquid sign on the right side here, and then a dark liquid trapdoor on the left side. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and take our green terracotta. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta across, an item frame on both ends. In that item frame, we're going to place down a green stainless pane. And we also want to go ahead and grab a dark liquid trapdoor, and we're going to place it down on the side here of these 2 blocks on the sides there in the middle. And after we have that all done right there, that is going to basically conclude everything we have there for layer number 4 of the build. We're going to leave the pistons alone for right now, and we're going to come back to those a little bit later. But again, looking at it from the top-down view, this is what we should have with this layer complete. Actually, a few things I'm going to go ahead and add on also are going to be on the front here. We are going to place down 2 zombie heads here at slight angles on these 2 glass panes here for some little optic viewports and stuff like that for the drivers and operators of the vehicle. Anyways, though, that is going to do it for this layer, and with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer 5. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to start off by place down a row of 3 of green terracotta here, and then we're going to place down a row of 3 of dark liquid up downstairs, kind of going back like so. We're going to go then place down 2 more rows of 3 of green terracotta going forward, as well as a dark liquid stair here in the center, and then a corner stair to both sides of that. On the 2 sides here of the rows of 3 of green terracotta, we're going to place down item frames. In those item frames, we're going to place down a green terracotta block. And we then want to place down a dark liquid sign on the side here of the blocks. So like this. And same thing over here. Like so. And then we want to go ahead and place down a dark liquid trapdoor on the sides there like that. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark liquid fence gate here. We're going to open that up to the sides, like so. We then want to place down a fence gate here to both sides, an item frame in the center, and then a zombie head coming off the ends here of the fence gates. So it looks like that. Then continuing on back here, we're going to go ahead and take our dark liquid top slabs, and we're going to place down a row of 3. Then a trapdoor to both ends. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some of the dark prismarine slabs. We're going to place down a top slab here on both sides, and then we'll take our dark liquid signs and we're going to go ahead and wrap them around these 2 sides. So like that. After that, we're also going to go ahead and grab ourselves some rails, and on top of the dried kelp, we're going to place down rails, and also on top of those stairs there in the front. So just like that. And we're also going to go ahead and place down a flower pot that is going to sit here on top of this wall right here. Then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves a iron bar, and we're going to place down an iron bar on top of this right here for the radio antenna to continue building that up as well on the front. Now going to the very back here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some spruce trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 trapdoors, and 1, 2, 3, 4. In the center space here, so that second row of 5, we're going to place down a row of 5 of dark liquid trapdoors across, or dark liquid slabs I should say. Then we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall in the middle, a slab to both sides, and then a narrow wall to the sides there. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of daylight detectors across the rear here. Again, we'll have these trapdoors closed, like so. Then in the center here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate, open it toward the daylight detector, and we're going to go ahead and place down zombie heads going out to the sides there, just like that. After that is all done, we then want to go ahead and just take our debug stick that we've used earlier for our Java players, and we're just going to go ahead and basically take all of our pistons, and we're going to go ahead and bring them down to that level, or get rid of that wood portion there. Just be careful you don't update the block space around these pistons, because doing so will cause them to reset, and it will basically push all the blocks above them into disappearance. So just be careful you don't accidentally place a block on those pistons and do mess up your build if you, again, are using the piston method. Anyways, though, that is pretty much it for this layer. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything important, and for the most part, everything seems to be already taken care of. So that right there is going to conclude everything we have there for layer number 5 of the build, and with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to layer number 6. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer 6. For layer 6 to start with, we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 3 that's going to go on top of this front section here. Actually, sorry, a row of 5, rather. And then we're just going to take our green stained glass panes, and we're going to do a row of 5 glass panes across that as well. After we have that done, we're also going to place down a chain that's going to go on top of this iron bar right here. And then after we have that done, we're going to take our mossy cobblestone walls. We're going to build a row down the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the mossy cobblestone walls going forward like so. Then we want to go ahead and then go to this side. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 rows of mossy cobblestone walls going forward, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So just like that. In the spaces in between here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block, and we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves a grindstone, and we're going to place down a grindstone that's going to come off of the mossy cobblestone walls, as well as a mossy cobblestone wall in between the grindstones, like that. Now after we have that done there, we're going to go ahead and kind of get a little bit of our missile set up here. Coming off the grindstones here, we're going to place down an upside down deep, or dark prismarine stair like this to both sides, and we're going to go ahead and place down a zombie head facing toward the rear of the vehicle. Going ahead and go into this section here, coming off this second mossy cobblestone wall, we're going to go ahead and also place down a upside down block, so it's going to be like this here, of our deeps, or our dark prismarine, and then we'll also go ahead and grab ourselves some dark prismarine blocks as well. And for the inside here, we're going to place down our blocks, just like that. So it's going to look like that there, kind of setting up our missiles and our stabilizers there for said missiles. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some dark oak wood fence gates. We're going to place down a fence gate here, have that open up to the side. Same thing here, fence gate open up to the side, fence gate here, open to the side, and a fence gate here also opened up to the side. So you get something that looks like that there. Then we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves some levers, and we're going to place down levers coming off the back of the dark prismarine stairs. Then after we have that done there, for Java players, we're going to go ahead and skip a space off from the fence gates. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of build a block out like that, leaving a space of 1 between the fence gate and this block. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a lever on the side of these blocks. And we will be using the debug stick here. Quick alternative, if you're not on Java and don't have the debug stick, you can go ahead and place down a zombie head here, come off the fence gate instead as an alternative. But for Java players, we will be placing down a lever on the side of all those blocks. We'll then take our debug stick here, we'll left click until we get selected facing, and we're going to go ahead and then right click this and rotate it around until it comes off of our dark oak wood fence gate. And this will be kind of used here for this little railing system that's on the side here of the missiles. So just like that, and that basically finishes off what we have going on there. We do have some more work to do on the back here, which is going to be kind of this stabilizer here for the missile system itself, or for supporting the missiles here. It's going to be a green terracotta block here in the center, a dark oak wood slab to the sides here, and then a dark oak wood upside down stair going up from those mossy cobblestone walls. So it's going to look like that there, like so. Then we want to place down a dark oak wood button. That's going to go on the side of this block here on both sides, and that's going to basically create that little support there for our missiles. And also these blocks that we placed here on the sides, to make sure that we delete them if you did use the debug stick. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 6, and with that we will be going ahead and moving into layer number 7. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 7. Layer 7 here, we're going to go ahead and get kind of the main body of our missiles built up by going ahead and starting with some green concrete. Now we're going to use green concrete because it does have a little bit of a different shade than the actual rest of the build, which is kind of more accurate for the actual missiles themselves. But what we're going to do is we're going to start on this mossy cobblestone wall. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 green concrete blocks forward, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here on top of this row of mossy cobblestone walls, and also on top of this row here. So this is just going to go ahead and go all the way to this section here. We're going to go then grab our white concrete. We're going to place down a white concrete block on the tips there, as well as a direct wall on all 3 tips, and then coming off that direct wall, we're going to place down a skeleton skull as well. We'll then take our birchwood signs, and we're going to place down birchwood signs on both sides of this wall here. Same thing over here. Unfortunately, just due to the close proximity, we really can't do it on this wall right here, unfortunately. We're going to then place down a dark oak trapdoor on the side of the white concrete blocks, just like this to the sides, and also we'll place down a trapdoor here and close that so it lays like flat against the side missiles. For the inside missile here, we really can't do much except maybe place down an item frame for Java players, like that on both sides, and we can go ahead and place down a green stained glass pane in the item frame, but unfortunately there really isn't too much of a good way to kind of, make this on the back here. And just so don't forget, also we're going to place down dark oak trapdoors on top of that as well, so it kind of secures and clamps around the missiles and keeps them from moving around and all that kind of stuff. Now after that's done, we're going to go ahead and take our zombie heads. We're going to go and go to the second green terracotta block here. We're going to place down a zombie head, and then 1, 2, 3 more back. We then want to take our dark oak signs. We're going to place down 2 signs going back, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a button like so. Over here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 zombie heads, then 2 dark oak signs, and then we want to place down a dark oak button. On the back here of our missiles, we're also going to place down some item frames, and we're going to go ahead and place down some black stained glass panes in those item frames like that. Now for the inside here of the missiles also, again, just due to the close proximity, we can't place down the zombie heads on both sides. So we're just going to go ahead and opt into our side missiles for this. We'll place down our 4 zombie heads like that. We'll do the same thing here with our signs, just kind of repeating the same kind of design here, like this along the side. And also we'll do the same thing again over here. Again, our dark oak signs and our dark oak button. So it'll look like that. Then after we have that all finished there, that's going to pretty much wrap that up. And the last things we're going to do here is we're going to go to our levers or our zombie heads here, and we're going to go ahead and just place down end rods on top of them. So really simple to go ahead and close out that layer. And that right there is basically it for this layer. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. Actually, we do have our radio antenna, which we will bring up. We'll just bring it up to finish it. 2 more iron bars like that, and that's that radio antenna done. But anyways, that is going to complete everything we have there for layer number 7 for the build, and with that we'll probably just move into our final layers here, layers 8 and 9. Moving into our final layers, we have layers 8 through 9. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to begin with by going ahead and taking our dark prismarine stairs, and we're going to place down a stair that's kind of above this one right here. So like this, and also on the outside here, same thing, just like that. Now the space in the middle here, we're going to go and grab some mossy cobblestone walls, and we will place down a mossy cobblestone wall here above those spaces like that. And then we're going to go and take our zombie heads, and we're going to go and go forward from those blocks like so. Also from the previous one of the previous layers, I did forget to mention that we do want to place down zombie heads coming off the side of these stairs here, as well as these dark prismarine full blocks there in the center. So just make sure that those get transferred over. After that is all done there, we want to go ahead and then take our dark oak wood buttons and also trapdoors, and we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood button here in between the stabilizers here, and then we're going to place down 2 dark oak wood trapdoors going forward. After that, we're going to go ahead and take our zombie heads. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will also go ahead and do another one of our prismarine stairs here to both sides, kind of directly above the stabilizers here in the front. Then a mossy cobblestone wall here in the center, and just like we did before, zombie heads coming off of the walls and stairs. So it's going to look like that. After we have that all finished there, we want to go ahead and then take our dark oak fence gate. We're going to place down a fence gate here on top of this end rod here, open it toward the rear of the vehicle. And then we're also going to place down an end rod on top of this end rod here. Then we're going to go ahead and place down an end rod on top of this one, and then a dark oak fence gate here facing toward the front, opened up toward it. Same thing here. So it's going to look like that there. Then we want to go ahead and go to the top up here. This is going to be kind of solely a Java feature. Now, if you're not on Java, you can just take some dark oak trapdoors and just kind of place on the top here. But if you are in Java, we're going to make this look a little bit nicer. So as you can see, I'm just placing down these temporary blocks here to the sides, which we can then place down 2 levers, just like this on the sides here. Then using our debug stick, we're going to go ahead and left click them until we get selected face wall. We're going to go ahead and right click and set these to floor. We're going to go and do this for all 4 sets. Then we're going to go and left click again until we get selected facing. And we want to go and then rotate these so that the levers actually point toward each other. And again, we're going to go ahead and do this for all 4. So like this, like that, and like that. We can then delete these temporary blocks as we no longer need them. And then we're just going to go ahead and grab our end rods, and we're going to place down a row of end rods. Going across here. And same thing over here. So just like that. And after we have that all done right there, that's going to basically complete everything we have for the missile launching system in layers 7 through 8, or 8 through 9. And that will pretty much conclude our tutorial here for the transit version of the 2K12 Cub, also known as the SA-6 Gainful, basically self-propelled surface-to-air missile system. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put to good use. If you do abuse this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be linked from a on the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. And again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 204, and I'll see you guys next time.